Happy Monday. Hi, Robert.
How's it going, Jen?
It's going. I'm still
We're
recovering
we're
from a
fi-
week of race.
yeah, but we're 5 days away from the frostbite. Almost only four.
I know. We have a ton of fans already on. Hi, guys. Welcome to Sunshine State Racing Recap Monday night show. It's a little bit different. I'm still getting used to the Monday night show, but I like it a lot better.
I like it a lot better too. And not only are we having the frostbite this weekend, looking at the weather forecast, the weather is going to be nice. We're not going to be freezing. We're not really going to get frostbite.
Thank goodness. We're not going to be sweating and we're not going to be freezing.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be in the like 60, 70, so you won't even need your hot hands.
I'm going to need my hot hands if it's under 70. We had a great weekend of racing last weekend. I went to East Bay Friday night, watched LJ Grimm tearing it up on dirt. I'm pretty proud of that dude. I know he's a buddy of ours and we talk about him quite often, but super proud of him. What a great job.
He had a really great week. I mean, his first time ever in the open wheel dirt modified. I mean, he's raced the sprint car with Shane Butler and him a couple times on dirt, but he went out and got his own open wheel dirt modified and set his sights on East Bay for the Winter Nationals against some of the biggest names all over the country. And I think he made the main feature 4 out of the 5 nights, and they had some really good, strong finishes against stellar field. I mean, what a job he did.
Yeah, he did a really great job. Super proud of him. We had a blast at East Bay Friday night. And then we all showed up at Showtime Saturday. Had a good time there as well, watching the Florida Fest 150.
Yeah, I had some car trouble. I made it right as qualifying was ending and got out there just in time for the race. But the race kind of to me was a little disappointing. I expected, I think, a little more fireworks than what we got, and then the fireworks we got wasn't as exciting as they could have been. But it was a good race. Steve Dewar got the win. Some of the locals here really struggled a little bit and had a tough time.
Yeah, I was super disappointed for names like Michael Goddard, Jesse Dutilli. They were fastest in practice and then ended up having some bad luck. Jeff Schofield was super quick in practice, and then he ended up having lots of bad luck multiple times throughout the night. Ended up going off on the hook. So felt bad for them guys. Chris Fazzillo, Steve Darling, John Merriman, all of our buddies are on. Chris is tuning in from East Bay tonight. He's going to get some great photos, him and Mike Horn over there.
Yeah, the Lucas Oil dirt late models are over at East Bay all week this week. If you get a chance, make your way out, go watch them. But great racing at Showtime. Colton Bettis, young, 11 years old, got his first start in the sprint car. Uh, did a really good job against a pretty stellar field. I think he finished fourth in his first time out. Was throwing some down respectable lap times. And then over at Arbandale, Kevin Macy got the win in the Sportsman, and Gavin Graham got the win in the Pro Trucks. And then Dylan Bigley, which we're going to have on later, got the win in the Davidson Family Memorial down at 417 Southern Speedway.
Yeah, and don't forget Troy DeCare waxed field at Showtime in the sprint.
I think he
Came home
lapped
with the win.
everybody this week.
I think he did too. It was a great show, though. We had a good time. And don't forget the Ford figure eights. Those are by far one of my favorite classes.
I'm excited this weekend for the. I don't know that I've ever witnessed them at any track. The Crown Vics for the first time down at 417 Southern Speedway. I think $500 on the line. I've heard they put on some really good races. I'm excited to see the Crown Vics go at it at 417.
Yeah, they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. So, a couple housekeeping items to get us started. Um, Parking this weekend at 417. When you get there, we just want to remind everyone, park on the opposite side of the airport. Last time we had a packed house, there was people parking on the airport side. They ended up having to go move their vehicles. Thank you to the airport. So just a reminder to our fans, when you show up at 417 this weekend, make sure you park on the opposite side of the airport. Follow 417 for all your race updates. The only classes that will be practicing Friday night will be the classes that are on this schedule. So that's a little change. Usually it's open practice. This week we're only doing classes that are on the schedule. So make sure you follow 417. They'll keep you updated on everything if there's any schedule changes or anything like that. Practice, I believe, is 11 to 9. There are 2-day pit passes available, so that'll save you time in line. And then, of course, the after party will be at Ryan's. Looking forward to it. The Frostbite 200 at 417 Southern Speedway this weekend.
And I recommend you get there early. I bet if you don't get there early, you're going to be parking quite a ways down the way again. But we don't want to discourage anybody from come out. We want to pack the place just like the Bigley race. But get there early, get a good parking spot, get in. The pits are going to be full. The grandstands are going to be full. Come out and let's enjoy a great night of racing. Say hello to us. See everybody on the crew. We're excited about this race this weekend.
Yeah, we are. So January 30th drivers, make sure to message 417 Southern Speedway, private message or message it on their Facebook page to reserve your spot. It's first come, first serve. So make sure to send them a message so you have the parking spot you want and you're around the people you want.
So we want to jump in with what's racing this weekend?
Absolutely. Let's get on it.
East Bay Raceway Park all week. They have the Lucas Oil late models racing from tonight all the way through Saturday. Bubba Raceway Park starts on 125, the big block modifieds and sportsman class. 417 Southern Speedway has the Frostbite 200, the street stocks, A modifieds, and Crown Vics. Arbondale Speedway has super late model 100 laps legends, pure stocks, and scramblers with the mini cups. And then at Showtime Speedway, they have the super mini late model Rick Sermons Memorial, A-Mods, Hosen, Hydraulic Street Stocks, and the 4 division figure eights all going on over at Showtime this weekend. So make sure we hope you can join us down at 417, but get out. There's a lot of racing going on all week at East Bay and then Bubba Raceway Park. And if you can't make it down that way, get out to Arbondale or Showtime this weekend. Going to be a lot of stuff going on, big races all over the state, and going to be a good show wherever you go.
Absolutely. I've said it 100 times on my Facebook and on Sunshine State Racing this week. This is the best time to live in Florida is January and February. We're not dealing with snow. We might have hot weather one day, cold weather the next, but there's always racing going on somewhere in the state. So get out, support your tracks, support your drivers, and have a little bit of fun. Go do something different.
And from some of the reactions of our posts, a lot of people coming out to a 417 for the Frostbite this weekend. I'm excited because the Wheelman and the Sportsman Series alone has a long list of drivers and anybody that could win any given sportsman race. And then you take on all these late model drivers that have secured rides or found ways to come in and they get a ride for this race. It's just, I think, put it over the top. I mean, you got all these late model guys coming to beat the sportsmen and the sportsman drivers trying to secure and show their place. And then over the weekend, if you follow him on Facebook, Mike Bresnahan just got his new sportsman back from North Carolina, got it put together along with Anthony Cataldi, and they're going to be down and ready to take it to some of the guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can pick a top 5. You know, we always do the raffle to see who can pick top 5. I don't think I'd be able to choose a top 5 because the list of drivers, it's a stellar list, and I can't wait to see the show these guys and girls put on this weekend.
And have any of you guys seen the fake news Ronnie put out last week? Austin Dillon isn't going to be racing the Frostbite.
Was it Austin or Ty?
I know Jen's a little disappointed.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
Oh, Ty?
Don't ever listen. Don't ever listen to Ronnie. And don't open any private messages from him either.
You might. Some people may enjoy it.
Yeah. He's a handful. Huge thanks to the sponsors that stepped out. We had a couple of sponsors back out for the actual Frostbite. So huge thanks to them for stepping up. I know Chris Huntoon was one of them. I don't even remember the rest.
Chris Turner stepped up.
There was one more. We'll have to look and get back to it. But huge thanks to everyone for always stepping up and helping out when we have things come up and, sponsor us back out for our big races.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night. 200 laps, one set of tires, and like I said, I think you're going to have a really good mix of the sportsman drivers and the super late guys all in there for that battle. But there's eight guys and gals that are locked into the race. They're starting 28, so you figure there's going to be 35 to 40 cars there fighting for 20 spots.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So our first guest tonight will be Candice Keeley. We're going to take a quick commercial break, Robert, if you're ready, and we'll come back with our first guest of the night.
We'll be back.
With 24 flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, HTO keeps you cool. So, what's your flavor?
Give me a few seconds to tell you about something extremely important about insurance. Have you ever thought about any of the following? Maybe paying off a mortgage, proper retirement that is non-taxable. What about final expense questions? Well, the Alliance with Candice Keeley has all the answers for all those mentioned. Call someone you can trust. Retirement-safe investments are extremely important to lock in now, especially with this important election we are facing. There is no better time, as crucial as now, to get the most out of these insurance benefits. The Alliance with Candice Keeley. Call 386-523-6335 for a free review.
We are back, and we're so excited to bring on our first guest. That commercial was perfect because we have Alliance, Miss Candice Keeley. A little bit of technical difficulty. There she is. Hi, Miss Candice.
Hi.
How are you?
I am good. How are y'all?
Good. Happy Monday.
Doing great.
Well, I loved that. I got to hear my commercial. How what an introduction.
That's awesome.
So are you at a track tonight?
Actually, no. We've had some family health issues and stuff, so I actually am on my way home from the hospital tonight. But I will be at Ocala, and I plan on making a trip up to Souther Speedway. I know that there's some other ones running, so I try and hit every track during speed weeks before it's all said and done.
So I know the Dirt for Racing, and you guys have a big race coming up February 4th, 5th, and 6th weekend, I believe, at North Florida Speedway. Want to tell everybody what all that's about, the street stocks, and what all's going to happen?
Well, we had a record year this year. Come June, we had our first solo show, and then we kind of hopped around the state. You guys were with us for some of that. We greatly appreciate that. And then a good friend of mine, Brad, has Atomic Speedway in Ohio. So he asked if I wanted to do a Speed Weeks show. And of course, I said yes. And then we originally looked at an opportunity where the Georgia track had canceled their show for Lucas. And I'm like, well, there's a window. And then I was like, I felt like somebody stole my Christmas presents. I already planned it, had it all like thought out. And then Lucas moved the show. And I'm like, oh, that's it. It's over. All right. It was a good thought. And then I had a bunch of Florida drivers call me and say, no, not yet. There's a week between East Bay, BRP, Hull, and then Volusia. And I'm like, huh, you're right. So I looked at all the track schedules and I'm like, where can we now fit? So Phil and Liz are good friends of ours. And I called them and I'm like, hey, can we lease the track for this week? And so I called Brad and I'm like, I think there's still a hole. So then we teamed up with Phil and Liz. They let us lease the track. They already had a show planned. So we kept the 602 center mods. we kept the 600 mod, and they were gracious enough to show added, of course. And I don't know how to have an event without my street stocks. You can't, forget where you came from. So of course we have our street stocks. So I'm excited for that for them. They'll get to be on a large stage, and they're not last. They're not, field packers. They're not first. So very excited for them. And it's, the first time since Have a Tampa that there is a small late model series coming to Florida for Speed Weeks. Chris Tilley is with the Ironman series, and I love to watch a Cinderella story. Somebody new, somebody small. You guys know me. I love that stuff. So we didn't even go with a big TV show. Pit Crew TV is filming the show. You guys are, going to be doing some advertising for us. I'm working on that with some of your co-parts, maybe some promotional videos, stuff like that. Tried to get you guys to be able to do it for us, but we're still working on details. But anyway, I love the little guy. So, and so does Brad, and Chris Tilley has been amazing. The Grit series, they have been really good to work with. That'll be a great series to watch. At first I was like, it's a center mod. Like it's a big block modified, right? But it's got a 602 in it. And then the little ones look like our mod lights, but not. They look like they look like the center mods, but with the 600 motor. I'm like, our mod lights have a DC, so they can't run together, but they're kind of close. So I'm like, all right, we kind of know some guys like that. So I'm excited to see how that blends in with our street stocks and the super late models. But the biggest thing is, where can you go in Florida for Speed Weeks and get 4 classes for that price? It is reasonably family priced, and you're going to get a Speed Weeks show. Tyler Erb is going to be there. I mean, we listed 25 names the other day. If you guys go on our Dirts for Race, and I'm going to post them again. And Chris Tilley has done a great job. Brad and I have reached out to drivers, and I'm so grateful for the support that they're giving this event. There's a lot of big names coming. There's some Florida names coming. Actually, there's some kids, that are great, just super racers that don't run Lucas Oil, that don't run World of Outlaws, but you know what? Here's their chance to shine.
That's awesome.
That's a
We
great.
love seeing the little ones getting the promotion, the smaller teams getting to race with some of the big dogs and getting their name out there. That's how our sport grows.
Well, I didn't if first it was Augie's car on the flyer. I stayed Florida local. We did Kenny Monahan, then we did Jeff Matthews, and then we did a kid from Ohio. And then today we put it as Tyler Erb, because everybody knows him and he's coming, so next it'll probably be, maybe we'll do our street stocks and we'll add some of those 600s and the 602s. So, that's the fun part about building up these races. Everybody asks me, they're like, what do you do differently? And I'm like, I treat them like people. It's this crazy foreign concept of they're our family. We love watching these guys grow, and there's some girls that are coming down up and racing that I love watching them. It's across the board. It's really cool to be able to see there's this big show. It's that I said to Brad, this is kind of our go big or go home. It's his first Florida event. He's done many up in Ohio. He's well known there. Chris Tilley has traveled out west and some of the East Coast. So he's got a great name for himself. Phil and Liz have been in business for 15 years at North Florida Speedway. Beautiful new surface up there. So they've put the time and effort in. And then we've got Joe Kelly behind the mic. He was just at All Tech this past weekend. I'm really excited to see how it all comes together and everybody's hard work kind of plays off, and it'll be just, the perfect storm. I'm excited.
I think I missed the big news you had a week or so ago. Tell everybody, did I see that Dirt for Racing's kind of combined with the 3-Force Modified, and now you're going to have them as a division of Dirt for Racing?
So I've been truly blessed with a great race family, and a lot of them reaching out asking me if I would do a series, and I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna do it unless I know the drivers want me to. So we had a dinner at Never. Okay, well, they did. They beat us to the restaurant. They were a half hour early, and it was full. So we had to move out back. So it was great. So we are going to do a 12 race series for them between Putnam County Speedway next year. And so that went so well, they called me back the next week and they said, would you do the class plus the series? And I'm like, why not? Sure. And I'm honored that, Tad has put a lot of time and effort into, rebuilding that class. Originally, the Cessnas had done a lot to start that class off. And there's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears put into that class. I have some skin in the game. I got to drive one of those cars when they first started. I drove Wonder Woman, and I drove the actual TQ model.
We're losing you.
So between
Yeah,
me
it
and
seems like we got
Randy Glenn,
some
drove it a couple
technical
times. So
difficulty.
I've been in those cars, and I
there
love
we go.
that class. So I'm excited that I get to hopefully help make that grow too. So we will be at a couple more tracks this year with them. And our street stocks have a 12 race, event as well. We're kicking off at Hendry County after Speed Weeks. And it's 2,600 to win. That's David McCormick's dad's race. Love honoring a fellow racers. So I'm very honored that they included us in that.
We lost you for a few, but you're back now.
And and kind of wrapping up and get ready for your show on February 4th. Any sponsors you want to thank that help your series and everybody?
Am I back? Where did you lose me at?
It's back now. So do you want to tell us your sponsors that help out for the February 4th event?
Can you hear me now?
Uh-oh. We might have lost her.
I know they have Sunoco Race Fuel on board with them, and we'll get their list of sponsors and make sure we get that out there. But huge thank you to Candice Keeley for coming on and taking time to talk about their big Dirts for Racing event on February 4th, 5th, and 6th weekend at North Florida Speedway. She works so hard to promote dirt racing all over the state of Florida and outside of Florida. It's just amazing to have somebody like that in our community.
There's not a female that works harder than Candice. She is literally nonstop in this sport, and she's doing awesome things. And it's always a pleasure to get to hang out and get to support her dirt tracks and her dirt races. And hopefully we'll get to come to a lot more this year.
And very knowledgeable. Anybody you want to talk about somebody that knows knowledge about dirt racing or racing in general, just sit down and talk a few minutes with her, and just let her go on about everything that she can give you information on. It's just amazing.
Yeah, so make sure to check out their page, Dirt for Racing. She also has alliance with Candice Kealy. So make sure to reach out to them as well for all your needs. And huge thanks to Candice for coming on and all she does in the sport. We appreciate her here at Sunshine State Racing. I think we're ready for our second caution, and we'll be back with Dylan Bigley.
With 24 flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, HTO keeps you cool. So, what's your flavor?
Welcome back to Sunshine State Racing Recap. Just a quick reminder, if you want to become one of our marketing partners, we always have room for you on our big broadcast or our Monday night show. So just reach out to any one of us. We're super excited to have all of our marketing partners. They're family to us, and we appreciate each and every one of them. I think we're ready for our second guest of the night, Dylan Bigley, joining us off of his big win from the Davidson Memorial Race. How are you, Dylan? Maybe not. Dylan,
Hey there, Dylan. Can you hear us?
We're just going to stare at Dylan for a little while tonight. Uh-oh. We lost him. This is just the way our Monday night's going.
And it's usually me here at the hotel, and I'm actually doing good tonight. We'll see get Dylan back here in a minute. He was looked like he was in the hauler, which I'm sure they're at the shop getting ready for this weekend. I mean, they're out there every night till 8 or 9 o'clock and working on something. And the hauler's outside, probably quietest place he could find.
I'm going to go through some comments.
Ready for this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to go through some comments while we're waiting on Dylan to come back. Steve Darling said 68 Street Stock will be there, but be sure to stick around for the whole show. You do not want to miss a race at 417. I don't care if it's the last race of the night. It's always fun. It's always exciting, so stick around. Wally Smith is on. He says, hey guys, should have 14 A-mods this week at 417 with lots more coming this year. Thanks for all you guys do for us racers. It's going to be a big year for our class. Miss Kim's on. Miss Kim Bigley's on. So glad I'm watching. Someone forgot to tell their mother they were on this show tonight. Good job, Dylan.
Well, I kind of surprised him on it. Right after his win on Saturday, I texted him. He said, sure, I'll come on. And then we didn't say much about it till today. So we kind of surprised him with this.
Yeah, I know he's working on getting to Wi-Fi and then coming back to join us. So a few little reminders for the people that have just jumped on. Make sure when you show up at 417 this weekend, you park on the opposite side of the airport. We do not want to have you miss racing to go move your vehicle because airport security is calling. So make sure you park on the opposite side of the airport. Come early. There are 2-day pit passes available if you want to come hang out with all of us and go to practice on Friday night. So 2-day pit passes are available. If you need spots for your race car, make sure to message the track on Facebook and let them know that you want to reserve your spot. It will be first come, first serve, so make sure to get that done. Practice, I believe, is 11 to 9 on Friday. After party, of course, will be at Ryan's again. We had a blast last time we went. We had a really good group going. Can't wait to do that again this weekend. Ronnie Basello, of course, is going to be down there with us, and he's always up for a good time. So it'll be lots of fun.
Just want to give a huge shout out to our fans and everybody that support us and everything we do. And everybody keeps asking, why don't we do some things at other tracks and stuff? We're getting in and spreading ourselves out as much as we can. But if you guys want us to be at a track that we're not currently at right now, help us out. Send them a message and let them know that you'd like us to help cover them more and let them know that we're the site you go to for information. I mean, there's a lot of people out there promoting the sport right now. We're trying to get in the best we can everywhere we're at, and we appreciate everybody supporting us. But if we're not covering something you want, let us know. Let those tracks know that you want more stuff from us at their tracks.
Yeah, we do our best to make sure every track has at least results. We can't be everywhere, but yeah. Candice said, y'all need to tell the tracks to have them. Dennis said, looks like another weekend of great racing weather. So yeah, it's going to be a nice weekend. So make your way to a racetrack. And if you've not been to a dirt track yet, my suggestion, get your butt out to a dirt track sometime during the week and then show up at 417 this weekend because we're going to have a blast. Looks like...
And a huge...
Go ahead.
huge shout out to Dennis for all the pictures he posts and the ones he sends us to post. I mean, he's out there as much as we are, and a huge shout out. Appreciate everything he does for the sport, and a great guy if you ever get a chance to talk to him.
And our guest is back. We have Dylan Bigley joining us again. Hi, Dylan.
How are you guys? Try this time.
Good,
Does this
how are
work
you?
this time?
It's
Good.
much better.
You're good.
Your mom
I
said
mean,
you're in trouble because you weren't even telling her you were on the show tonight.
like Robert said, it was kind of a short notice. I mean, I was inside our motorhome. I was thinking it was going to work, but then I seen that I glitched out. So I was like, oh, I started running to my grandma's. I was like, hey, Grandma, can I go in here? And I was like, can you mute your show? She's like, no, I'm watching it. I'm like, okay. So then Brandon told me, you're not enough light. So I go turn the bathroom light on, and it didn't work. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go to the porch.
Well, we appreciate you not working on the race car long enough to come on with us. So let's have
Yeah.
a chat about last weekend. Where'd
Yes,
you
ma'am. I
qualify?
mean,
How was your car?
well, right before qualifying, I mean, we thought we had a really good car. On Friday night, we were blazing fast. And then come to qualifying, tires barely grew any air pressure, and the rear stagger closed up 3/4 of an inch. So, kind of a little letdown. I mean, we knew we were a lot better than a 75, but kind of played in our hands. We started outside row, and we got down behind Skaggs, and then eventually got to the lead, and that was about it.
That was
Great
about
battle
it.
there at
I'm
the end
pretty
between.
Go ahead, Robert.
Great battle between you and Daniel there at the end, and I know you both have a lot of respect for each other, and a really close finish. And there's been a lot of close finishes at a 417 lately. But what was it? What was it like to get to finish that close with a Daniel, somebody just a little bit older than you, about your same age? And
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, I felt bad at the time getting into Daniel because, I mean, we all want to win. Would he have done the same to me? More than likely, probably yes. Um, but like we said, we both crossed the start finish line. None of us was in the wall, spun out. We both finished first and second. But like I said, if it was in his shoes, I mean, we were nose to tail for quite some time. We really didn't have a short run car. We actually, right after that race, we talked about it, and we're like, I think we know what we need to do to get a little bit of short run, long run car. I mean, there was a time where we were almost a whole straightaway ahead of second. And I mean, I was riding there for the longest time. And then whenever we got the lap traffic, he kind of caught me a little bit, and I kind of picked up my pace and drove away from him. But no, I mean, the biggest thing is, I mean, if we get a short run speed for Punta Gorda, I'm pretty sure, I mean, we have a really great car that I think can run with, I mean, the Goddards, Sergi whenever he comes down, Jesse. But like I said, we think we got to tweak it just a little bit for that short run speed to be able to compete.
And do you have a preference on what you race right now? I know you got the new Fury car, but which one do you like more? The late model, the truck, the sportsman? What's your favorite right now?
It's hard to say. I mean, they're all great. I mean, I actually told my dad after this weekend we tested the Sportsman for the Frostbite this week for this weekend coming up last weekend, and I told him, I said, dude, this thing's so like, I love this thing. You go in there and you get it turned, and then like in the center of the corner you're full throttle, and I'm like, and then you got to kind of play with the wheel in the center of the corner because you're just using so much momentum, and I mean, to me, I mean, the Sportsman with not so much motor, definitely. I really like driving that, but to me, there's nothing that compares to super late model. I mean, with all that horsepower and I mean, yeah, nothing compares to the late model.
Robert?
so this weekend, there's going to be a lot of you guys from the late model ranks in the Sportsman. Um, that class is already stacked with a lot of really talented drivers in the Sportsman class. Shaping up to be a really great race. After yesterday's practice or this weekend practicing while you were out there, you think you got what it takes to be right up there with those guys towards the end of the race?
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, out of everybody inside the field, I definitely think I have the most laps around Punta Gorda. I mean, I've been racing there for the last 13 years. So I mean, I definitely think I can get it done. It's just if the car is capable of doing it. I mean, biggest thing is it's 200 laps. You got to keep your nose clean for 200 laps. You have to save the right rear, and pretty much you got to be there at the end.
We got
And
go back to 2 weeks.
if I'm not mistaken, the Sportsman is your dad's car, right?
Yeah, I mean, we built the Sportsman for Dad, but like he said, he's probably gonna race it here and there, every once in a while. He's not gonna do it on a weekly basis. He's gonna hit some shows, but like he said, when we were building it, he goes, "I'm probably gonna race it one time, and you're probably gonna race it the rest of the time." And I'm like, "Hey, sounds good to me."
But he had a really great finish his first time out in it. Just to see him having fun in that car was something. I mean, he hasn't been in the car other than the Richie Anderson race in probably about 2 years, and you could tell he really sparked and had some fun. So hopefully he'll go have fun in that. But 2 weeks ago in the trucks, Corey got back in his truck. You've been racing it in the series races, but Corey was knocking on the door right there. Almost won that race. It looks like he's been taking notes and he's getting better in that truck behind you.
Yeah, I mean, he's listening. He is doing that. He's really listening. His biggest thing is to me. I'm I don't want to I want to be politically correct. I don't want to cuss or nothing, but I'm like I don't know how to say it, but I'm exactly and every lap if I can do it, if the tire's gonna do it. Corey's more of the timid and wants to like, oh, I don't want to get into somebody. To me, if it's gonna win, I'll put a fender on it. I mean, I'm not gonna spin somebody out, but if I have to knock a door in to win, I mean, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, Corey's definitely the kinder, quieter, don't want to
Hmm.
ruffle any feathers type. We love him. He's the
Yeah,
best. We love you too,
no,
Dylan, but I mean, Corey's the sweetest.
thanks. Thanks. Maybe next time you should get him on the show.
We all had him. So
So
after
who are
Frost,
you
well,
looking?
first of all, we're talking about the after party. The Bigleys and the whole group plans to come to the after party Friday night, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, we went the last time with. I mean, it was great hospitality over there at Ryan's. Um, it was crazy. I mean, literally, it was like everything was coming left and right. It was like, oh well, I didn't get this. Like, okay, don't worry about it. It's on the house, and it's like, I mean, it was a really good atmosphere. Food was good. We just hopefully there's enough seating because I mean, 40 something cars. I don't know if they got enough seating for all those people to come.
Go ahead, Robert.
Who are you looking most forward to racing against in the Sportsman? I mean, we got Bubba Pollard, who I don't know that he's ever been down to Punta Gorda. Nassie hasn't been there since probably the fast truck days. Michael Goddard, I mean, you and him race together all the time. Is going to be in Chris Turner's car. Is there one person that you're just looking forward to running with in this race?
I'm not really going to say just one person. I mean, there's so many great drivers. I mean, just super late model drivers in there. I mean, you got like you said, Goddard. You got Nassie that's won the Derby and the Snowflake, and then technicalities and stuff like that. You got Bubba that's won almost at every racetrack. To me, it feels like in the United States. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting some other late model guys. But then you got Webster. I mean, he's going to be in George Gorham's car. I mean, it's not going. He's going to be in a stout car. So hopefully we're not getting beating and banging this weekend. But no, I mean, the biggest thing is you got a lot of these sportsman guys. I mean, like Jesse Henley, you got Brandon Morris. I mean, you got Donnie Ollie, you got Brooks Thor. I mean, there's just so many drivers that, I mean, to me, I think there's probably 30 cars out there that could win the race. And unfortunately, there's only 28 spots. So, I mean, two people that could potentially win might not make the race.
And
It's
you
going to
forgot
be
ahead of it,
crazy.
you got Schofield and Bresnahan and Cataldi and all those guys coming down also.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you said, Bresnahan. Who was the other one? I just thought about somebody else that races late models. Steve Dorr. I mean, he just won the 15,000 to win at Showtime. I mean, to me, there's going to be a lot of great talent. I mean, it's who's going to win. Nobody knows. I mean, we'll probably know who's got the best car probably the last 50 laps. Because to me, I think it's going to be like Daytona. Everybody's going to be drafting for about 150 laps, and then probably with 50 to go, everybody's going to get going. But no, I mean, to me, the fans definitely, if you guys can make it out, definitely show up. If not, I mean, you'll be able to watch on Sunshine State Racing. I mean, it's going to be an action-packed night, definitely.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And we appreciate you and your whole family because every time we come down to 417, you guys treat us all like family. We have a great time. We love coming down and supporting that track. LJ Grimm just commented and said, congrats, Dylan. So LJ Grimm's keeping up with you from East Bay.
Yeah, and it's funny because throughout the whole week I was keeping up with him. I was like, "Oh, Dad, look, LJ qualified first in his qualifying session and stuff like that." And it's pretty cool. I mean, getting back to last week at Punta Gorda, it was pretty funny. For grandfather's race, the memorial race, Boris Yurkovich was there, and actually this weekend it was funny. Boris Yurkovich moved to Fort Myers.
Oh, wow.
So he's a huge late model guy, and it was funny. He just come over and he was sitting with Dad and us just BSing the whole time. And he's like, I might got to get one of my super late models down here so we can go race. And he's like, what? He told my dad, he's like, but whenever I do bring it down, I need you to be setting it up. So it's pretty cool. I mean, you never know who's going to be there in your backyard.
That's true. Robert?
I know you don't have a long list of sponsors. A lot of it's all family and stuff, but who do you want to give a shout out and thanks to that out there in the shop with you guys every night and makes everything you guys do possible?
Mostly everybody out here at the shop. It's mostly me, my brother, my dad, and Johnny, who normally Monday through Thursday are out here Sundays. You do have Josh that's up in up in Punta Gorda. He's Josh Gorniak. He helps a lot. And then you got my buddy James that he buys me tires here and there. You got Sean LeMaster that comes out every once in a while. He helps Sean and Mike. Just so many people. I mean, Kyle, he normally doesn't come down, but he's there at the racetrack. You got Kyle Case, Jesse, Pillinger, just so many different people there that help turn wrenches. And it makes my job a lot easier because during the weekend I got to get out and jack the car up. I'm able to just focus on what I need and pretty much everything with a setup instead of wearing myself out, jacking the car up, filling it up with gas, changing the tires. So it's definitely them, and then you got to look at my mom. My mom's she's been doing this for 40 plus years, and she's a trooper. You got my fiance. She deals with it all the time, and then just all the wives and girlfriends that let their significant other come out and just play with us. Because at the end of the day, it's a hobby, but it is a lifestyle. If you're not willing to do it 100%, you're not going to be able to win.
And everybody has fun at it except for Corey. He won't let anything get dirty. I've never seen that guy around one of the vehicles without a rag and a spray bottle.
No, that's for sure. It's funny because sometimes he will pack our wheel bearings and literally he is covered head to toe in wheel bearing grease. And I'm like, Corey, literally, how do you get the stuff in your hair? And it's I don't know, but he is a clean freak. He's one of the, he'll go over there with SD20 and wipe off the window after one run. And it's just like that. You need that. You need to look presentable you never know. Look, Boris Yurkovich, he could be a potential sponsor. He could be, you never know. Somebody can walk up to you and say, hey, look, I like this car. I like the look. You guys keep everything clean, and I want to sponsor you guys.
I like it. So your mom says, great job as always, Robert and Jen. You too, Dylan. You're forgiven.
Mm-hmm. I was also got to think, my grandma, she does a lot. My dad was yelling in the background, don't forget grandma. So I'm surprised you guys didn't hear it. He was out at the shop and I'm on her porch. So, my grandma also, it's a big family affair.
We're excited we get to cover this race this weekend so grandma gets to watch it.
Yeah, no, we tried to do that the last time for whenever Dad raced. We had everything set up she was on my buddy's Facebook. And she, for whatever reason, she said, I tried to click on it and it just says it was some other website. So we tried to walk her through it, and unfortunately she wasn't able to watch it. So hopefully this time she doesn't push the wrong button and we can get her to watch it.
Sounds good. Well, we look forward to coming
Thank
down,
you.
hanging out with all you guys as always. Go ahead, Robert.
I just want to thank you for taking time tonight, and good luck on Saturday. We'll see you there.
No, thank you for having me again. You guys are doing some great things with this Sunshine State Racing. I mean, from Monday night recaps to just keeping up with the racers, and even trackside. I mean, you guys have done great. You guys need to be proud of yourself. And if anybody wants to, you guys preach a lot. If you guys want to sponsor, I mean, it's definitely something that's gonna get your name out there.
Appreciate you, Dylan. Appreciate the whole Bigley family, and can't wait to see you guys this weekend. Hope to see you up in the top 5.
Yes, ma'am. That's the plan.
All right.
And another show's come and gone, and we'll see everybody this weekend at the track and back here next Monday night.
I'm super excited for this weekend. Guys, make your plans to come visit with us at 417 Southern Speedway. We will have shirts available. Follow us on Sunshine State Racing and the 417 page. Look forward to hanging out with everyone. Have a great rest of your week. Get out to a dirt track and have some fun this week.
See everybody.
See ya.